So why I have highlighted the importance of the topic Gini coefficient. अगर तुम्हें ये आर्टिकल, ये तो आज के द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर के आर्टिकल है, अगर तुम्हें ये आर्टिकल को सेंस से पढ़ना है तो तुम्हें इसका इकोनॉमिक डिटेल्स पढ़ना है तो तुम्हें एक कॉन्सेप्ट जरूर समझना चाहिए. So let's see, it is an article written from the opposition point of view. The article is saying one important factor. हम बोल रहे हैं कि हम फोर्थ लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है. ओके, गवर्नमेंट का बात है कि हम फोर्थ लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है. Just after the Belarus, we are the fourth largest economy. But if you are the fourth largest economy, अगर तुम fourth largest economy है तो तुम्हारी कंट्री की पॉवर्टी रेट कैसे 28.1% हो सकता है? अगर 28% पॉवर्टी रेट अभी भी हो रहा है तो तुम कैसे बोल सकते हैं तुम लार्जेस्ट 4 इकोनॉमी में एक इकोनॉमी हो? ये कभी बोल नहीं सकते ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट the article is focusing. The context is clear, right? Some inequality is there. That's why the poverty rate is very high. But you are projecting yourself as a fourth largest economy. कैसे हो सकता है? So let's see. Here in this context only the Gini coefficient is important because there is different kind of Gini coefficient. This article is focusing primarily on two kind of Gini coefficient. One we will discuss here in detail and second one we will discuss in another video. Okay. So let's see. Based on the World Bank report of 2022, our poverty rate is 28.1%. Okay. So it update the official poverty measure to better reflect the country's economic reality. As per the recent report, okay, that is released in April, it highlighted and even the same thing is agreed by the Union government. In the PAB also it was published in July that the Gini coefficient of inequality, the Gini coefficient of inequality fell to 25.5% in 2022-2023 year, while it was about 28.8% in 2011-2012. हमारे इकोनॉमी की गिनी कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ इनइक्वालिटी स्टैटिकली ड्रॉप हो गया है. ये अच्छा है या ये बुरा है? So let's discuss that first thing. So how our economy's Gini coefficient inequality earlier was 28.1%. In which year? 2011-2012 में हमारा Gini coefficient का inequality 28.8% था. अब तो ये 25.5% हो चुका है in 2022-2023. According to the center, this is what making India as the fourth largest economy, fourth most equal country, not the largest, fourth most equal country in the world, just behind Slovak Republic and then Slovenia and Belarus. Belarus is again important for you in your economy. Why? Belarus is the place from where recently the Nirav Modi extradition etc. happened, and Belarus is much more known for this diamond business also. Okay, so remember that this may be a fact that can be helpful for you in a ugly prelims. Okay. Now on Sunday, however, the Congress pointed out other aspect because the World Bank report of the World Bank report of April, the recent World Bank report is not just focusing on this Gini coefficient of inequality. It is focusing on many aspects. But our government has focused only on this Gini coefficient of inequality and showed that our inequality rate तो drop हो गया. इसलिए हम fourth position में है. Fourth equal country, fourth the most equal country बन चुका है. Based on the Gini coefficient of inequality. Congress ने other points of World Bank report point कर रहा है. वो क्या है? The World Bank report, which is the government press release, did not mention the high wage disparity in India. तुम्हें already पता है हमारे इंडिया के इकोनॉमी में वेज का डिस्पैरिटी बहुत है. जेंडर वाइज डिस्पैरिटी एक प्रॉब्लम है. स्किल बेस्ड wage inequality is also there. So the inequality in wage is already very high in India. So wage disparity is not discussed, and a possible reason for the fall in the consumption inequality is also not discussed. Also wage disparity in India is very high because हमारे इंडिया के 10% median earning, top 10% median earning और top bottom 20% का earning तुम कंपेयर करोगे तो वो 13 times higher होगा. For example, you take top 10 rich persons like Ambani, Adani Sahab, or take Tata Group, like that important 10 persons. Okay. See, you can imagine these 10 percentage are the 10%. 10% are becoming the 10 percentage. Okay. So अगर तुम अंबानी जैसे 10% लोगों का उसका earnings कंपेयर करो, उसका मीडियन इनकम कंपेयर earnings कंपेयर करोगी तो उसे तुम मुंबई के स्लम में जाओ, मुंबई के स्लम के 10% के लोगों के earnings के साथ कंपेयर करो, तुम्हें पता होगा इसका इसका जो इसका अर्निंग है ना वो तो 10% एक्स्ट्रा है। तुम्हें मुंबई का स्लम तो तुम चाहोगे तो 13% नहीं, उसके ज्यादा ऊपर हो जाएगा अगर तुम अंबानी अदानी जैसे पर्सन के 10%, टॉप 10% के इनकम को कंट्री के बॉटम 10% के इनकम के साथ कंपेयर करोगे तो इसमें 13% का डिफरेंस है, इसमें तो 13% का डिफरेंस है, मतलब 13% they are earning higher than the below 10%. Okay, that is one thing that has been highlighted in the World Bank report recently, that bottom 10% in 2023-24 is 13% higher than the bottom people. Okay, this is one thing Congress is pointing out. Next thing, the World Bank report added the sampling and data limitations, such as that consumption inequality may be underestimated. Okay, we are saying that the consumption inequality is something underestimated because consumption, though we say many things in favor of consumption inequality, there is many a point we are ignoring that there is a strong consumption inequality, but the data is not reflecting it. So in order to understand the rest of the part, you must know what exactly is this Gini coefficient, what is the fall in the consumption inequality, etc. So if you have to understand the previous things about the entire things of the news, you must understand the concept called the Gini coefficient. There are many type of Gini coefficient. हम यहाँ consumption based Gini coefficient के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. So consumption based Gini coefficient वो क्या होता है? It means it is a measure of inequality in consumption expenditure among the individuals or the household in a population. हमारे इकोनॉमी के पॉपुलेशन को लेके तुम अगर कंपेयर करोगी तो एक्सपेंडिचर कंजम्पशन में कितना एक्सपेंस कर है. फॉर एग्जांपल, नीता अंबानी विल गो एंड परचेसेस बनारसी साड़ी वर्थ like 10 lakhs. Okay, for wearing in our house also she will purchase a 10 lakh worth sari, while your mother may be purchasing a sari for like 2000 rupees to go for a bridal party or for attend a wedding event. So there is a consumption inequality is there, right? She is in the top 10%, she is spending more, but agar your mother is in the middle economy level also, she is spending only 2000 rupees. So both the persons spending level on same kind of good is also differing, right? So consumption inequality, consumption में इतना inequality बड़ा हो रहा है, so उसे measure करने की एक तरीका होता है consumption based Gini coefficient. Then it is same or it is functioning similar like that of income based Gini coefficient, but now what we are calculating, we are not calculating based on income. When it comes to the consumption based coefficient, we are just focusing on the expenditure part, not on the income part. Okay, income part is not counted, only the consumption expenditure is counted. Same the concept, the same, however you calculate this GDP based on consumption expenditure, GDP based on income method, same way here also you are comparing the income based Gini coefficient is also one factor, the consumption based Gini coefficient is another factor. Here when you're comparing the consumption based Gini coefficient, you are comparing the consumption expenditure of one person with the consumption expenditure of other person. While you're taking the income means you're comparing the income of Ambani and you're comparing the income of yourself. Suppose, okay, you're comparing two persons' income. So based on this, what is the differences? The inequality that is happening between you and Ambani in the way you earn the income. in the way that how much is your income and how much is the Ambani's income per day. So what is the inequality happening? That is what is calculating this Gini coefficient based on income. Okay, while if you're seeing that Ambani is spending like 1,000 rupees on a lassi, you will be going for purchasing a 10 rupee on lassi. So there is a consumption. You are also consuming a lassi. Ambani is also consuming a lassi. But you are spending 10 rupees while Ambani is spending 1,000 rupees. So there is a difference, inequality in the consumption of both of you, right? If you compare that, that is becoming the Gini coefficient based on consumption. So this is the concept of Gini coefficient based on consumption and Gini coefficient based on income. Now moving on to why this, what is the Gini coefficient range? There is a Gini coefficient range of 0 to 1. Okay, the Gini coefficient range is always calculated between 0 and 1. 0, if 0 is the Gini coefficient of any country or any population or any household, then it means that that is a perfect equality is right. For example, you take your family, you are having 3 earning members. If the Gini coefficient of U3 is equal to 0 means you and the other 2 person both means the three of you are consuming in the same level. Okay, if your income is compared, your income is same. If your consumption expenditure is compared, it is also same. For example, there is a 3 daughter-in-law in one family. Suppose there is 3 daughter-in-law. One daughter-in-law is spending like X amount for a sari. Second daughter-in-law is comparing like she's spending Y amount, and third one is spending Z amount. These three people, if they are spending similar amount, if they are spending suppose एक तो 1,000 रुपए का साड़ी, एक तो 998 का साड़ी, so all these are similar, right? So उसका Gini coefficient will be 0 for that family. But in one family, if one daughter-in-law is purchasing for 20,000, another is purchasing for 10,000, and another one is purchasing for 1,000, means here there is a high inequality. Then that will go for 1 as the Gini coefficient. So this is how Gini coefficient is range. Okay, 0 to 1 के रेंज में Gini coefficient का कैलकुलेशन होता है. और Gini coefficient को अगर तुम्हारा दिमाग में रखना है तो ए डॉटर इन लॉ कॉन्सेप्ट को दिमाग में रखो तो ये इजीली समझ हो जाएगा. So 0 means there is a perfect equality. Means 0 means zero ego. Imagine that is 0 means zero ego is there. For example, if a daughter-in-law, 3 daughter-in-law is living in one roof and 3 of the person is able to spend the same amount, then there will not be any kind of ego. So there is zero ego means the Gini coefficient is 0. Means there is a perfect equality there. Suppose the daughter-in-laws are spending in different amount. Some is one of the daughter-in-law spending high-fi range, and the person is able to purchase only in the lowest range. Then there will be inequality for sure. If inequality is there means something is there. If something means there is one, the value is one. For something, the value is one. If the one is the Gini coefficient means there is an inequality in the consumption expenditure. So the Gini coefficient is indicating the inequality in the consumption expenditure. So the consumption based Gini tells us how unevenly consumption is distributed in the society. For example, a person is buying basmati rice. Okay, a person is buying the basmati rice in one state. Another state person is buying only a lowest quality of rice. Okay, second means second or third grade quality of rice the another person is purchasing. So within the India, if you compare, India means we are comparing in the macro range. This daughter-in-law, everything is like micro range. Now if you take India as a whole as a macro concept, because everything we discuss is about macroeconomics only, not about microeconomics. So in the macroeconomic aspect, if you take India as a whole concept, suppose in a state of Tamil Nadu or Kerala, the rice consumption expenditure, the consuming rice means if they're consuming only the basmati rice. If you take another state, suppose you're taking a Punjab. Okay, in Punjab, I'm not saying anything wrong about Punjab. If suppose since Punjab is a state where you consume more wheat, I'm saying that you're consuming the less quality of rice. For example only, okay, don't take it as a mean, okay. So if you're consuming less quality rise in Punjab, then what happens? Like that, different states, if you compare in the macro level, there is the inequality in the way you are spending on the things. For example, you take the Punjab, people are buying luxury cars only. You take the example of Tamil Nadu, and suppose that in Tamil Nadu people are buying only Maruti cars only. So there is a consumption expenditure is differing. Now the Punjab people is also satisfied, I guess. Okay, so there is the consumption inequality is happening in the macro level. So in if everyone in the country is purchasing only the Maruti car, then there is a zero Gini coefficient. If everyone is not able to purchase the Maruti, and some is purchasing Maruti and some is purchasing BMWs, another one is purchasing in a higher range cars SUV, then there is a strictly consumption based inequalities existing. In that case, the coefficient value will be 1. So we have seen in the micro aspect, we have seen in the macro aspect. Now let's move. This is a formula by which the Gini coefficient is calculated. This is only important if you are an optional student. If you are not having the economics optional, then you can skip this point. Okay, it is not at all relevant for you. Okay. Now, why use the consumption instead of income? We have said that Gini coefficient is of different types. One is there is a wealth based is there, another one is income based is there, another one we are calculating on consumption. So there is an argument why we are calculating based on consumption only. Same like GDP we calculate by consumption method, that is expenditure method. GDP by income method we calculate. GDP by product value added method we calculate. So why we have to calculate only by consumption, not by income? Why we are doing that? Because India is a developing country. You know this fact, right? Everyone is not having the same kind of income, and everyone's job is not same. So most of the people are informal job sector. For example, there will be pani puri seller. He is not in a formal work, right? He is in a informal working sector. A person may be having a small shop. He is having a bida shop or something, means that is a small shop, that will also fall in what sector? Informal sector. There are so many informal businesses existing in our country. That's why even if we go for the income GDP method also, our country will not be able to calculate accurate thing. So because of the existence of informal sector in our country, a country like India always focus on consumption, because consumption cannot be hidden from the economy. Because consumption cannot be hidden from the economy, that will be more accurate, better proxy for long term well being. Because if you calculate on consumption instead of income, हम क्यों इनकम के गिनी कोएफिशिएंट को मेजर नहीं करते हैं, हम क्यों कंजम्पशन बेस्ड फोकस करते हैं? तो एक प्रॉब्लम हमारे इंडिया में फॉर्मल सेक्टर से ज्यादा इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर का अर्निंग होता है. जैसे एक पानी पूरी सेलर इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर होता है, एक बीड़ा शॉप ओनर इनफॉर्मल, एक मोमो सेंटर इनफॉर्मल है. So informal like freelance, gig based economy, everything is existing. So your income cannot be completely captured by the government, because some of your income will be hidden from the government. Some of your income will be known to the government. How can a government know how much amount a pani puri seller or momo seller have earned in 1 month? It's not possible. But the government can definitely know how much atta has been purchased by that momo seller. The government can even know how much kind of jaljeera is being brought by this pani puri seller. So the consumption, whatever amount he's spending on the consumption, that will be captured in the economy, because the product is getting sold. So if anything is sold, that consumption will be counted. But the income that he is earning by making that as a final product, that cannot be counted. So consumption is reliable for a big country like India, because we are having a huge population. फॉर्मल सेक्टर से ज्यादा इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर हमारे इंडिया में बहुत है, इसलिए हमें तो इनकम से ज्यादा कंजम्पशन में रिले करना पड़ेगा. So that is why we are focusing more consumption based Gini coefficient instead of income based. Next thing, India's example. So, based on the NSSO Consumption Expenditure Survey and World Bank estimates, India's consumption-based Gini coefficient is typically lower, okay, than the income-based. Our Gini coefficient based on income is higher, while our Gini coefficient based on consumption is lower. Okay. So, in contrast, the income Gini coefficient is 0.45 or higher, while our Gini coefficient based on consumption is just 0.30 to 0.35. What I said, it has to range from 0 to 1. 1 means there is a inequality, maximum inequality exists. 0 means zero ego. 0 means zero ego. There is no kind of inequality existing. So 0.30, 0.35 means some inequality is right there, but it is not. No economy cannot be in a like zero position, because there is no economy in the world that is perfectly free from inequality. Okay, because household A cannot be having the same kind of consumption basket like that of the household B. So you cannot compare even that as a similar thing. So zero Gini coefficient is nearly impossible. 0 point, at least 0.2 will be there in even the most developed country also. Now in India's case, we have seen that our income-based Gini coefficient shows that we are having a high inequality, because our Gini coefficient of income is zero point 0.4 range, okay, 0.40 range, while our consumption based is in the 0.3 range. So this is lower, this is higher, this is income, this is consumption. अगर consumption coefficient तो हमारा consumption coefficient low है, means our inequality level is low according to consumption. अगर तुम consumption के view से देखोगी तो वो indicate करता है हमारे इंडिया के economy में inequality थोड़ा ज्यादा कम है. पर अगर तुम इनकम के व्यू पॉइंट से देखो, इनकम बेस्ड गिनी कोएफिशिएंट के व्यू पॉइंट से देखोगी तो हमारे इनकम के अनुसार हमारा इनइक्वालिटी का रेट तो ज्यादा बड़ा है, कंजम्पशन के अनुसार देखोगी तो ज्यादा बड़ा है इनइक्वालिटी. ओके, सो व्हाट इज एडवांटेज बाय टेकिंग द कंजम्पशन बेस्ड coefficient, consumption based Gini coefficient? What is the advantage? Because it reflects the standard of living better in poor countries, less volatile than income, especially during economic shocks. For example, if any economic shock happens, okay, there is a supply shock or anything, income will less volatile than the income, because consumption will happen. Whatever is happening in the economy, no one will stop eating the food, right? No one will stop purchasing the goods. No one will stop from buying the services in the economy. So the consumption will always happen. So there will not be high volatility when there is the economic shock is there also there in the economy. So that's why income से ज़्यादा हम consumption method को prefer करते हैं. Next thing, there is some limitation is also there, because doesn't capture the wealth inequality. Ambani or any famous Bollywood actor, okay, Adani. So there, these people's wealth will be very high. You cannot compare that and say that. See, our India's income based inequality is in the range of 0.40. That doesn't mean that everyone in India is rich, or everyone is in the almost near neck to neck range of Ambani. No, right? Some of them are poorest of the poor. You cannot compare that. So there is a limitation, like it is not capturing the wealth based inequality. It is not reflecting the short-term inequality impacts also. For example, a person's yesterday's income would have been very higher, and if suppose that person have lost his job, suddenly his consumption will be low. Suddenly his income will be low. So that will also lead to the increase in kind of Gini coefficient based on income, or Gini coefficient based on consumption, but that will not be captured because the short terms is not captured. Then underestimate disparities compared to income based Gini. Okay. Next thing, income versus consumption versus wealth based Gini coefficient. That is, I have already said there are three type of Gini coefficient. One is income based, second one is consumption based, and third one is wealth based. So income based means inequality in earning. What is the range of India? 0.45. This is important for pre. Take a screenshot or something and remember it, or write it in your notes. Then second one is like consumption based. Even for mains also, you need data to write anything. Data is most important. If you don't have the proper data, your answer will not look like a person who have worked so much for mains, because everyone have let their sweat for writing this. Okay, so ensure that you are having the relevant data, because data is very important. Data, facts, everything is important, not just for pre, It's important for even the main section. So consumption means it is showing there is an inequality based on spending. In India ranges 0.32. Wealth waste, India is having a high inequality because 0.70, that is nearly, it is nearing 1. So inequality ratio ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा है. Now, what does the low consumption based Gini coefficient means? इंडिया में अगर कंजम्पशन बेस्ड गिनी कोएफिशिएंट लो, इसका मतलब क्या है? लो कंजम्पशन बेस्ड गिनी कोएफिशिएंट मींस related there is a less kind of inequality in the economy, like however like how people are spending on the goods and services, the distribution of consumption is almost like equal, almost equal. Always remember the word like it's almost equal. Okay, this, if the word almost etc is not in pre statement, then that option will be a trap for you. Next one, what is the implication of the same? Implication is that the Gini coefficient ranges 0.2 to zero point 0.3 in India, showing like low inequality in consumption. People consumption level are fairly similar across the population. Basic need like the house, clothing, etc. Most people are able to afford that in the same level. Economic inequality, like it is showing that more inclusive development is happening in the standard of life. So what is our Gini coefficient? Present Gini coefficient's implication is this. The present Gini coefficient range of India is showing that the people are able to have a decent kind of life, almost similar kind of decent life by spending on the similar goods. Next thing, example, if India's Gini coefficient is 0.32, it means most households consume similar amount of goods even if the income is varying. Poorer household may be consuming more through the government subsidies like the PDS scheme, the social service schemes of the government, like that is aiming for the reducing the consumption inequality. For example, yearly in India, before the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana came, okay, the people who had the own home will be less in number. But now most of the people are having this, even though not they have not purchased a home from their own cash or by income, their income is varying. But still the government spending on them through the social scheme is helping them to achieve such kind of consumption. Okay. Positive interpretation, better access to essential items like food, shelter, healthcare, etc. Implications of redistributive schemes or subsidies like a free ration scheme, rural housing schemes like the Awas Yojana scheme, their LPG scheme, etc. is helping to reduce this Gini coefficient based on consumption. Then greater social cohesion due to fewer lifestyle gaps also. मेन क्रक्स, अब तो हम मेन क्रक्स में आ चुका है. मेन क्रक्स ऑफ दिस इज even if the consumption based Gini coefficient shows a low value like a 0.32, like low Gini coefficient, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हमारे कंट्री में इनइक्वालिटी इतना लो है. Even Gini coefficient, low Gini coefficient also means there can be inequality in the economy. It is not crossing out. Okay, this is one important point. Second thing is it masks the high income or the wealth inequality. Like for example, the Ambani, Adani, everyone is getting rich, is getting richer, but the poor is getting the poorer. Even the government schemes are helping the poor, but still you cannot compare both the people in the same level. People may be consuming equally, but the earning or the wealth that they are having will not be equal. Often seen in countries with low income across board, everyone's consuming low amount, hence equal. Because in India, if India or any kind of country, if a low income country, if the low income country is there, every person is buying 5 kg atta. Okay, next house is also buying 5 kg atta. So everyone is consuming the same amount of low quantity. So how can we say that there is an inequality based on the consumption? No, everyone is consuming the same level of food only. So that can also be a reason why there is a low there is a low Gini coefficient based on income or even consumption. Now, if you see a mains question based on this, consumption based inequality is often lower than income based inequality. Critically examine how this is reflecting the ground realities of poverty and redistribution in India. Suggest the policy implication based on your analysis. This can be a question on which you can expect for this year. Okay, so I hope you understood the concept. In the next video, we'll cover in detail like how the income-based Gini coefficient is differing and how the wealth-based Gini coefficient is working, and how this can be related to the GS3 topics of the income inequality, inclusive growth of development, etc. Okay. So if you have understood this video and if you have liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and also let know your comments also in the section. Bye.